Hi, this is Pastor Alan Shoulders of Gateway and Global Ministries, and we are here in Buenos Aires, Argentina with... Hi, this is Pastor Alan Shoulders, and I'm here at Auschwitz with Pastor Krzysztof Zareba, the senior pastor of the largest church in Poland. And
welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a serious allegation that has shaken Gateway Church, founded by Pastor Robert Morris. A whistleblower, Alan Shoulders, has come forward with claims of financial mismanagement, misuse of tithes, and broken trust. Let's get into the details. In a world where trust is sacred, the church often stands as a beacon of hope. But what happens when that trust is broken? When faith is exploited for financial gain? This is the story of Alan Shoulders, a man who placed his faith, money, and heart in the hands of Gateway Church, only to uncover a truth that would shake him to the core. When he decided to take a massive pay cut and left his job at a Big Four accounting firm to join Gateway Church as the executive pastor of Gateway Global Ministries, upon the request of Tom Lane, executive pastor at Gateway, he never imagined that 3 years later he would resign after uncovering fraudulent activities in the fund he was overseeing. Shoulders says he faithfully tithed to Gateway for a decade, giving north of $500,000 to the church. But when he left, Shoulders said he felt like a fool for trusting Gateway with his money. Before we get into the evidence Alan shared, let's look at the response that longtime non-staff elder Tra Wilbanks gave after the lawsuit was filed against the church with Gateway Church, former pastor Robert Morris, and 3 elders named as defendants.
On behalf of the elders, I wanted to provide you with an update on some important actions that we are taking related to our church finances and address the news of a lawsuit that came personally. In spite of the news, I still give to Gateway Church. Gateway has had independently audited financial statements since 2005. The firm who performs our audit is a nationally recognized auditing firm for nonprofit organizations. The name of that firm is Cape & Krause. These audits have demonstrated that our finances are managed consistent with best practices, and we have never had any wrongdoing revealed through these audits. Several weeks ago, a former employee brought several financial-related issues to our attention that we felt needed further investigation. In spite of these allegations being over 10 years old, Haynes & Boons is looking into those areas right now. We take it seriously. It's not about protecting an institution. It's about being obedient. Like other concerns that have been raised, we are interested in learning the truth. If there is no wrongdoing here, we will tell you. If there is wrongdoing here, we will tell you, and we will fix it. At this point, we are not aware of any financial wrongdoing. One of the most common concerns that has been raised has been a desire for more transparency around the finances, and we have been working on a plan for that. We are in the process of joining an organization called ECFA, which stands for Evangelical Council for Financial Accountability. You can clap, I think it's a good sign. This will add an additional layer of accountability to our finances. ECFA has several requirements, one of which includes publishing a financial overview to the church. We have been working on that, by the way. We continue to work on it, and we hope to publish something for you soon. The ECFA application process does take some time, and they are wanting us to complete the Haynes & Boone inquiry prior to granting Gateway membership, which I believe is a fair ask. Secondly, even though we have a full audit done every year, in order to provide additional assurance, we have decided to hire a third-party independent accounting firm to complete a forensic analysis of our finances, which will include investigating the specific allegations of this last week. We will report back to you when this work is complete. Your elders commit to operating with best practices in financial processes and integrity. And when any allegation is made, we will investigate it. And we will take action on any of these allegations that are determined to be true.
In his statement, he says that they have been doing annual returns with a nationally accredited institution, but the fund that is the basis for the lawsuit was never audited according to the whistleblower. Secondly, he says they have already engaged Haynes and Boone to do the investigations and promised to report back. In joining the Evangelical Council for Financial Accountability, ECFA, my question would be, why join now after the uproar? What transactions has Pastor Robert Morris hidden over the years? To help understand some of these questions, watch this video to the very end. Alan Shoulders is a whistleblower. His story exposes what he calls a pattern of deceit, fraud, and misuse of tithes and offerings at Gateway Church, founded by one of America's most influential pastors, Robert Morris. Gateway Church, founded in 2000 by Robert Morris, has grown into a megachurch with multiple campuses and tens of thousands of members. Before he resigned in disgrace in June this year, after a lady he molested when she was just 12 years old in the 1980s exposed him, Morris, the author of The Blessed Life, taught extensively on tithing, a principle that built the financial empire of the church. He taught some of the most controversial sermons on tithing, making members believe that if they didn't tithe, they'd be cursed, and that giving to Gateway was giving to God. This led to the growth of Gateway's annual revenue to $135 million by the time Shoulders resigned in 2014. But where was the money really going? Pastor Robert Morris of Gateway Church had committed to giving at least 15% of roughly $100 million in annual revenue to global missions. Tom Lane told Shoulders that in his role, he'd be responsible and at least $15 million would be at Shoulders' disposal for international ministries each year. He was also told he would be working under Kelvin Grove, an executive pastor and elder at Gateway Church. When he got to ask Morris why he decided to be giving 15% to global missions, he said God had spoken to him when he was giving only 10%, and God had chastised him because he was only giving what he had to give. That's when Robert upped the amount to 15%. This amount was proudly documented in the members' handbook given to all new members. However, by the time Pastor Morris and Tom Lane decided to accept his resignation, after 3 years of service instead of addressing his concerns, Shoulders had made the following revelation about the global ministries fund he was overseeing. First, Gateway Church never dispersed more than $3 million to global missions in any given year he was in that role. According to a statement he sent to the TRR blog, "When I arrived, Gateway's annual revenue was in the $100 million range and rose to about $120 million by 2014. Later, it was reported to have climbed to over $150 million annually. The 15% transfer from Gateway Church to Gateway Global Ministries amounted to $19 million annually during my time there. However, Gateway never gave away more than $3 million in any year I was there," he said. Secondly, Pastor Robert Morris was lying to the congregation during Global Missions Week that 15% was being given to global missions annually. According to Shoulders, when he joined Gateway's staff, the church's global fund had an unspent balance of around $20 million and continued to grow by $12 million to $16 million each year, Shoulders said. If the fund continued growing at the same rate after Shoulders' departure in 2014, it would total more than $202 million today, Shoulders estimated. This meant that some money was accumulating in the global mission account and not fulfilling its intended purpose. Thirdly, he realized that Morris and Kelvin Grove were withdrawing and diverting money from the Global Ministries Fund to other unexplained expenses. Following the end of 2013, in early 2014, there was a problem with the reconciliation of the Global Fund balance. My assistant, Kim Lang, was assigned the task, which consisted of verifying the beginning fund balance plus 15% contribution from Gateway Church, minus approved gifts to ministry partners to get the ending fund balance. Kim told me that she couldn't make it work, and when one asked her to go month by month and isolate the problem, she found 2 journal entries dated December 31, 2013, amounting to approximately $1.5 million. When he consulted with the CFO of Gateway, he was told that they were elder approved, and when he asked which elders approved it, said it came from Kevin Grove. This was extremely concerning for him since he was charged with the integrity of the accounting and hadn't been informed. He approached Kelvin with his findings, and instead, Kevin, visibly enraged and with a raised voice, instructed him to quit reconciling the accounts. Also, contrary to what Elder Tra Wilbank said that Gateway Church accounts have been audited annually since 2005, Shoulders said that during his tenure at Gateway, there were no financial audits. Gateway DID, however, have a small accounting conduct, a review, which is a far lesser service than an audit and merely consists of inquiries. It does not involve auditing actual records and third-party evidence for the accuracy of the financial statement, and it is not designed to detect errors or fraud. And what's even more shocking is that the Global Ministries was outside the scope of that review. In a 2023 video of Morris speaking at a conference for the Messianic Church Network, Tikkun Global, Morris claimed Gateway gave 10% of its tithes to missions from day one. However, Gateway didn't give anything close to 15% of the Global Fund to Jewish ministries during his tenure. Even gifts designated for Jewish ministries often got lumped together with others in a general fund, Shoulders said. Kelvin Grove wouldn't discuss the spending of the accumulated unspent funds, but instead kept away the document Shoulders had his team had prepared with recommendations of how to use the funds. Pastor Robert and Elders Tom Lane, Kelvin Grove, who are mentioned as defendants in the lawsuit, decided to not address all the concerns raised by Shoulders and instead allowed him to resign. The big question is, what is it they were hiding? What was the money taken from the Global Ministries Fund used for? What did the money do that they couldn't explain to Shoulders to help reconcile his balance sheet? Robert Morris's net worth has reportedly grown to well over $100 million, and according to public records, he has connections to homes in Westlake, Texas, at least 2 addresses on Possum Kingdom Lake in Grayford, Texas, and a 350-acre ranch with a 5,000-square-foot home near Jacksboro, Texas, all potentially purchased with funds received tax-free from Gateway Church. He reportedly has other personal real estate holdings that he owns under names other than his own. If these allegations are true, they should be investigated. Shoulders quit being a member of Gateway Church after his resignation in 2014, but believes those current and former members who have heeded Robert Morris's repeated encouragements to give generously to Gateway should call for at least 10 to 12 years of financial audits to verify the financial statements of Gateway Church and forensic audits to determine whether allegations of misappropriation, fraud, and deception are true. In addition, investigation and audit of Gateway Church, Gateway Global Ministries, and entities controlled by Gateway Church and the Morris family. Whistleblowers like Allen are calling for greater financial transparency in churches across the nation. Will their voices be heard? This isn't the first time a megachurch has faced scrutiny over its handling of tithes. In recent years, several churches have come under fire for financial mismanagement, leading to growing concerns about the integrity of some religious organizations. For many, the allegations against Gateway Church and Pastor Robert Morris represent a much larger issue in the world of megachurches. These are serious allegations that, if true, highlight the importance of transparency and accountability in religious organizations. What do you think about the claims made by Allen Shoulders? Should churches be more open about their finances? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth stories like this. Thank you for watching. If you or someone you know has experienced similar concerns, don't stay silent. Seek accountability, and remember, faith should never be exploited.